Hey guys, it's me Robin, and today we're taking a look at the most underrated SMP server that exists nowadays. I'm talking about a server that could easily rival Hermitcraft,
Season 8! Let's go!
or I don't know, like Dream SMP.
Are you kidding me?
And if you haven't guessed what server I'm talking about, I'm of course talking about my very own IQcommunity. The keen-eyed watching this probably already think that I'm full of crap. I mean, how does a guy with 296 subscribers have a successful SMP server? Well, long story short, I don't. Anyway, today I would like to introduce the history of the IQcommunity to the world and those interested in it. Let's get started and allow me to take you back to 2015 when I was just 13 years old and I decided to start the IQcommunity. Everyone, welcome to IQcommunity Season 1. The season that started everything. My goodness, everyone, this was such a long time ago. I mean, I was only 13 years old at the time and I looked like this.
Ugly!
And young me was of course extremely obsessed with Minecraft. I mean, my entire life basically revolved around the game. I would get home from school and watch a lot of Minecraft YouTubers and also play the game every single day. And if there are any Mumbo Jumbo fans here, they might recognize this build in particular. This of course being Mumbo's Hermitcraft Season 2 signature roundabout. But way worse than the original since I wasn't really talented. And I never told all of the other server members that I actually copied this build from Mumbo, which is even more sad. Anyway, on to the world tour, which is actually a world replica because I accidentally deleted this world a long time ago.
Stupid!
So yeah, I had to reconstruct everything from memory. And I only remembered what I did, so unfortunately there's no other builds of other people, sorry. So, the Mumbo Imposter Roundabout was actually the server center, with everyone's houses connected to it via paths. And my house was located to the side of the roundabout. So as you walk through this cave, we will enter a very small valley where I decided to build a very large dark oak villa. I mean, look at it, it is so crammed. And I do believe that the replica actually looks better than it was in the original. And the interior we're going to skip because it's bad. And one more thing I remember doing was creating this little farmhouse on top of a hill, which is made completely out of wool because we didn't have any other color blocks. And that's about it for the first season. I mean, it wasn't very spectacular, but I mean, come on, I was a 13-year-old little stupid ass little boy, so we can't expect too much, right? But Season 2 was a lot more special. Welcome to 2017, the start of IQcommunity Season 2, which was also the year where I switched from high school and I invited a bunch of my new friends onto the server. And we ended up with 6 boys on one server, clustered together on this tiny little hill. And man oh man, this server was so fun to play on. We had so many different builds, like Yella's house with an amazing entrance. Subba's giant ship on top of the hill. Stan's house, designed by me.
Yeah, boy.
Of course, my little beautiful house on the hillside.
Nice.
And this is actually one of the first builds that I completely freestyled and I'm quite happy about. I mean, the bell-shaped roof is pretty unique and it's not something I've done before. And unfortunately, since this backup is not the latest version of the world, the interior is looking pretty ugly still. And below Yella's house, we had my cousin's Levy's house. And Levy's base also happened to be directly underneath my valley. So yeah, as you can see, we were all very close together. But this made the interaction between the server members, of course, extremely fun. Whilst also being a little bit annoying since we couldn't expand anywhere. Season 3 began shortly after as our frustration grew from building so close to each other, leaving us with little room to actually expand our bases. This season, many familiar faces returned, and we also welcomed 2 new friends, Lucas and Peter. This time we chose to spread out more and build our bases within walking distance from each other, which was so much better. And this is more or less what we have built on this server. This is Sebastian's treehouse. We also have Sebastian and Abel's castle. We've got Peter's, whatever this was supposed to be. And we've got my cousin's Levi's defensive fortress. And last but not least, we've got Lucas and my base, which I still very much like. So allow me to give you a very short tour. Here we've got the entrance. Down here we've got our bedroom. Our enchanting table leading down to the mines. Upstairs, we've got a little living room dining area.
Wow, it's very nice.
Here we had our AFK fish farm, which of course has been nerfed to the ground now. Here we've got our little netherwarts farm in the middle of our path. Up top here we've got another random room which serves no purpose other than looking nice. And upstairs we've got our super duper fancy storage system. And over here we've got yet another room which serves no purpose other than to look pretty and house my beacon. So yeah, I'm still very confused that other server members found our base a little maze-like. I mean, Flutter, is it really that difficult to navigate? No, right? Anyway, like Season 2, this server lasted way too short for my liking, only a couple of months. But Season 4 was going to fix that. Season 4 was the first truly long-term season, lasting over a year, that I got to share with these lovely people. As my first long-term season, this was also the one where I progressed further in the game than ever before. I mean, look at my base. I built a sprawling factory base that covered a big portion of this plains biome, and what I tried to do was to combine very modern layouts with very old and rustic factories. And I do really like how everything turned out. The combination and contrast looks really pleasing together. This building over here was my storage system, with up top here all of my different chests where I could store all of my items. In the factory to the side I had an iron farm, a very old school one which is broken now. And this building was going to be another factory where I would store all of my villagers for trading, which were located underneath the floor temporarily. And on the sides here I had a sugarcane, pumpkin and melon farm, a kelp farm, and underneath the ocean here a slime farm. My direct neighbor was Sebastian with this very cute house and tavern. And my cousin Levi went for extra style points and created something very ballsy and amazing looking in the middle of the nether. And this was my first ever attempt creating a guardian farm, which doesn't really look that nice to be honest. Not far from the guardian farm, Jord built his base in the jungle canopy. Peter tried to build a castle and also created a mob farm. And Jure created a little house in a mountain peak. So overall, it was a pretty fun season, but community-wise, it wasn't that interesting because there were many players to begin with, but that's alright. And I have one more thing to say. I know I shouldn't compare, but even though my base wasn't finished, which pretty much is a tradition at this point, I have to say I like mine the best. But it is nothing compared to what I've done in the next season. Season 5, everyone. Oh my goodness, this has got to be my favorite season of all time. It began in April of 2019 with the release of the Village and Pillage update, and it existed for 3 long years until the Caves and Cliffs update came out in June of 2021. And man, I got to share this world with so many friends of mine, and we've made so many great memories along the way. So it's not pretty strange I've spent 616 hours on the Minecraft server, definitely making it the longest time I've ever spent on one single world. And I've got to say that the community vibes were pretty awesome. In the beginning, it was me and the boys playing together on the server. And later on, Lisanne, Suzanne, Levi, Lucas and I played together many times, which was super fun as well. Now, this was also the season when I began recording videos about the IQ community and uploading them to YouTube. I made 2 standalone Let's Play episodes along with 27 devlogs showcasing my progress on the server. But please don't watch them because they're absolutely terrible and they haven't performed well in the slightest. Anyway, let's wrap up the world tour of my friends' bases and we'll get started with the most interesting part, which is of course the stuff that I have done. Starting with my base, which as you can see looks very similar to my base in Season 2 because it was in fact inspired by my Season 2 base. In the attic I had my bedroom with a bunch of statues watching over me of my friendly son. On the floor below, I built the iconic bathroom from the How Not to Get the Coronavirus in Minecraft video.
Make sure to cover each part of the body thoroughly, be it your armpits, face, feet, or your hairy stinking beads.
My first ever automated sorting system, which spanned 2 floors because I had way too many items to sort. A librarian village in front of my house where we could trade all of the enchanted books. And man, it took so long to get all of the villagers with the right traits. Speaking of villagers, when the season launched, I bred so many that the entire server started to lag, and to fix this, I had to move all of the unused ones to a temporary holding area, which, for the record, is definitely not a detention camp. We also had a gaming district where I built a shooting range, a 1v1 shooting game where the objective is to shoot each other out of the minecart, and I was constructing a new game, Scrapyard Wars, which never got finished. But the crown jewel of Season 5 has got to be my Guardian farm, which took nearly a year to build, completely hand-drained using sponges, and constructed block by block. Unfortunately, I never fully finished it as university got in the way, which is a shame. But I'm glad that I've built it anyways, and I still love it very much. So everyone, this is the reason why I find Season 5 my favorite. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the latest and longest running season of the IQ community, Season 6. This season has already outlasted the previous one, now running for over 3.5 years. Despite this being the longest season so far, it's also the least active of all of them. With university keeping me busy around the clock and so are my friends, not much has been accomplished yet. I mean, my total playtime is just 107 hours in 3.5 years, which in the grand scheme of things isn't much at all. Anyway, this season began during my first semester of university, when I started a Minecraft server with students I had just met. Over time, more of my friends joined and gradually, Season 5 of the IQ community was left behind as this server evolved into Season 6. I actually never intended to abandon Season 5, but with the Caves and Cliffs update and everyone already being invested in the new world, moving forward felt like the natural choice. Unfortunately, I've inherited an incredibly ugly island, courtesy of an ex-member. Thanks Juliet for leaving behind this barren wasteland. On top of that, only a handful of members are occasionally active, while most are in hibernation. So yeah, at this point, I can't really call this an IQ community, can I? But that's okay, or as the Japanese say, daijoubu. Who needs a community when I, Robin Chong, aka IQprof, can single-handedly resurrect this dying server and my struggling YouTube channel? It is time to inject some much-needed life into this lifeless situation. No longer will my skeleton skin represent my dead YouTube channel and server. From this day forward, I will build the most epic base imaginable, craft the ultimate minigame district to lure back the long-lost players, and create the greatest YouTube videos the world has ever seen. IQ Community Season 6 will be the biggest, the boldest, the best, and the most legendary season to date. Anyway, if you've made it to the end of this video, you're either incredibly invested in what I had to say, which honestly would really surprise me, or you've passed away from sheer boredom. No, but in all seriousness, I'm really excited about what's ahead. Over the past 3 years, I've been refining my production pipeline to match my style of video creation, and this video alone actually took half a year to produce, which is a very long time, but I'm quite happy with how it turned out. So if you're interested in more content beyond gaming, then be sure to check out my other channel, Robin Chung, where I cover my other passions. But anyway, that's about it. Thanks for watching. Feel free to like and subscribe. It truly means the world to me. And I'll see you in another video. Bye bye.